There are franchises, and then there are the Chicago Bulls. Apparently, the Chicago Bulls have rejected trades for Alex Caruso, some of which even included a top 10 pick in this year's draft. Let's talk about the incompetency level of the Bulls, and realistically, let's just vent right now. Listen, if you're new to the channel, this is your boy P Kid. This is offshoot of the Windy City Breeze, Chicago Bulls Breeze, where we're talking Chicago Bulls. Yes, we know Chicago Bulls on the main channel isn't a very hot topic, but since the draft is coming up and the playoffs are coming to an end, it is time to go into the future of what this organization can look like, and unfortunately, it may not be exactly what we hoped it to be. One report has the Chicago Bulls rejected multiple trade offers that included Alex Caruso in hopes of being a playoff team. Now, let me ask you all this. Does anyone in the Chicago Bulls or Bulls Nation fan base feel confident, enough that even if we were to make the playoffs, that we would have some miraculous New York Knicks-like run? Because I don't. The reality of it is the Chicago Bulls, and AK specifically, I'm not even going to say Jerry, because I do not believe that Jerry is the sole reason why these things happen. We've seen how AK had values or overvalues certain pieces or moves too late, i.e. Zach LaVine, and how that worked out, or how it's working out. By the way, that video coming soon. It isn't good. We've seen AK draft a player, hold on to a player who has so minimal to little progress, and he's also not really incubated that situation well. Then that's i.e. the Paul Patrick Williams. At this particular point, it is safe to say, and I'm saying this, yeah, it's tough to be a Bulls fan, if I'm going to be honest. It's tough to be a Bulls fan. But it does show you that the Bulls are trying to show something that maybe they didn't have before. Loyalty. Right? Maybe that's a caveat. Maybe that's something that helps this along. I don't know. I'm grasping for straws here. Listen, at the end of the day, the reality of it is the Chicago Bulls have not put themselves in the best light or painted themselves in the best light because we've overvalued a very good role player in pursuit of what we all should be looking at is, hey, we're not good enough to be considered a dominant playoff team. Let's rebuild while we still have the chance, because we've been stuck in the middle of mediocre, what some people will call hell, for a long time. It is time for us to move on. It's time for us to do something different. It is time for us to kind of reshape ground from the ground up, and for some odd reason, we just want to hold on to a level of mediocrity that is only rivaled by some of the middest teams in the Eastern Conference. By all accounts, the New York Knicks are no longer mediocre. They're actually pretty good right now. So go figure. Can't even make that joke anymore because the New York Knicks are actually pretty good. Interesting. But I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear whether or not you all believe that this is was it the right thing to do to keep Alex Caruso? Is it the quintessential AK mediocrity move to keep Alex Caruso? Is it not even an AK decision at all? Put that all in the chat. I'll be in there with you. Moving on to one last topic. We've got an interesting. I want to combine this, because the interesting thing about this is that Bulls were reported to actually have tried to move up within the draft. So let me ask you all this. They are trying to move up into the top 10, but they rejected a top 10 pick for Alex Caruso, someone who probably wouldn't even scratch your top 3 when it comes to most impactful players on this team, at least from an offensive perspective. The Bulls as a defensive team have been pretty good. On average, it's not like anyone can write home about. He does have a all-team defensive selection. I'm not going to make it seem as if Alex Caruso is a scrub, but is he going to absolutely move the needle for us when it comes to what this game is about, and that's buckets? The answer to that is no. So let's add that in there. Do you think it was a mistake for them to reject that deal just to find themselves in a situation now where they have to still move up? What are they willing to give up? Talk about it. Put it in the chat. I'll be in there with you all. Till next time. Unfortunately, peace.